Hey guys, this is me, Noob, and today we're going to be going through 100 random rooms in Rec Room. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get straight to it. First up is Bar Hangout. It's got booths, tables, a pool table, a basketball court, music. More importantly though, there are tables which you can throw, and there's also a pretty cool car. Next up is Flange. It's very obviously a copy of a laser tag room. Something we're going to see a lot more, and what we see in this room is that there's literally nothing changed in this. They copied it and published it. So nothing special about this room. Moving on. Room 3 is Room for Love. This room is pretty random. Yeah, in theory, it should be mostly about love if the title is right. There's some stuff, but the rest of it's just really random. Like, there's a picture of a character from Hollow Knight next to a drawn picture of a person, and it just says kneecaps. Moving on. Room 4 is Park Battles. There's a speaker. That's about it. Room 5 is our first actually really good room. It's a space-themed bar or diner or whatever. Some really nice art, nice view. Got to say hi to my little astronaut buddy. He left me pretty shortly after, though. Yeah, pretty good room. On to the next one. I don't know a lot about whoever made Room 7, but what I can tell you for certain is that they really, 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 really like campfires. Wow, look at this cool squiggle. Room 9 is pretty basic. The only thing that's somewhat interesting is that there's this button that says welcome. It does absolutely nothing. Oh, and I also hit a glass wall. I'm not a massive fan of Star Wars, but Room 10 is honestly probably my favorite room so far. Really well built. There's not too much, inside, but if you're just flying around looking around, it is very, very nice. Room 11 was one of those ragdoll games. It was fine, I guess, but I'm pretty sure all of the weapons there were inventions, so points off for that. Not one of the worst rooms we've seen, though. Room 12 is a little interesting. There's a whole bunch of trees and animals just with googly eyes, and then there's this Room 13 is actually pretty good. It's a remake of a court, and it's got your courtroom, jury stand, jury room, place for people to sit. It's actually pretty good. Alright, so Room 14 was a... What? Impossible. How is he here? I killed him 2 rooms ago. I finished the job. Moving on. Room 15 was kind of alarming. First off, looked nothing like a McDonald's. And second off, there was some stuff in the upstairs section of the building which I'm not that comfortable showing. So instead, I'm going to show off one of the cool things that was up there, being this costume. I'm going to be honest, Room 16 is pretty boring. It's a couple of speakers and a chair up on the stage, and then we got 3 brown chairs on the floor. That's it. There's nothing more. Room 17, though, is still really boring. On the bright side, I guess, I still bumped into that glass wall. As you probably could have guessed, this is just the template room. Guess what? Room 18 is another template room. Room 19 actually reminded me of something. That disc golf propulsion is honestly one of the nicest looking maps in the game. It's still just a template room though. Finally, we get something other than a template room. Room 20 is basically just Spillway, except that it has quest weapons. There's also only 2 weapons on the map, so I wouldn't recommend playing it. Room 21 started with me spawning outside of some building. Luckily there was flying enabled so I could get back in, and when I did, God told me where some stuff in this bar was, and then I proceeded to use the puke bucket. And I guess there's also some random items scattered around. Aside from the rooms where there was nothing changed, I'm pretty sure Room 23 takes the cake for the worst room. There's literally 2 charade pens, and that's it. Seriously though, of all the things I thought I was gonna see a bunch, this was not it. Nowhere near my radar. I didn't even know what this was until I started recording. I honestly still don't. Room 25 was a duck-themed PvP, I guess. All in all, not that bad. It's actually pretty interesting seeing it in the soccer map because you had the whole camera in the background, which I think would be pretty good. But there's also the fact that, like, this is made back in 2018, and Quest 1 players can't use the soccer map, which means a bunch of players just wouldn't be able to use your room. I don't know. Otherwise, pretty cool. Room 26 starts off with you clipping out of this structure, whatever it is, as soon as you move, so I wasn't able to figure out too much about it, as there wasn't fly either, but it looks like it's just a cardboard box full of bananas. I really don't know on this one. Room 27 was actually surprisingly good. It started off with this little man telling me to go grab a weapon. Apparently all the weapons up here are actually custom. Now, they are modeled after some of, the usual weapons, but each of them have their own different kind of ability. I wish I could have played this room more, but because of the way screen mode grabs certain objects, I wasn't able to play it really. Otherwise, this is a really good room. I recommend you check it out. Room 28 is literally just a recreation of the paintball map, Clear Cut, except for the one fact that both the flags are from the same team, so you couldn't actually play the game if you wanted to. Room 29 looks like at one point it might have been a talk show stage, but that doesn't really explain all like the Ugandan knuckles is everywhere. I kind of don't know what they're going for with this, but okay. There's stuff in it though, so that's good enough for me. I'm pretty sure room 31's a template room. Not quite sure though, but regardless, I had a fun time throwing furniture around. Oh, and also I didn't hit the glass wall this time. Room 32 is another paintball map with some slight variation. This time it has paintball snipers and paintball ARs, and then a couple of, the standard stuff scattered around. I don't know, this might be wrong, but I feel like having snipers on River would be just totally overpowered because you have line of sight for most of the map. On the bright side though, this map gave me an idea for a cool room. In this room, there's literally a paintball gun and 2 paddles. That is it. Room 34 is somehow another paintball map. This time, all weapons, the same, but you're a lot faster, and I think you jump higher. Yeah, that's about it. Room 35 is just park with a charades pen. I did learn something kind of interesting, though, that apparently maker pen objects from the charades pen actually have friction. So, more you know, I guess. Despite Room 36's suspicious name and description, there's actually not really anything cool going on here. I guess they added a couple frisbees, where each hole starts, but that's about it. Room 37 was actually an outlining place. Sadly though, there was only one piece up for display, but it was still pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, Room 39 made me a little sad. Probably one of the nicer rooms that we've looked at was just up above us, but because the room was broken, it spawned us beneath the map, and I couldn't fly up to see it. Very sad. At least there was a paintball sniper. Room 40, aka Crescenborofi, is a quest without any enemies, so I don't know how well it works on that department, but it's not poorly made, I mean, I've seen worse. There's some parkour bits which are a bit harder to do on PC, but it was refreshing. Room 41 has a grand total of 1 item in it, being a microphone stand. Bravo, room creator. Room 42, otherwise known as high-tech jail, isn't very high-tech, but it has this cool kind of center building which you have to kind of crawl through to get to the top. I don't know, if it's an invention, this is a pretty room. If this isn't, that's pretty good. Ugh, looks like another boring room. At least it's that shape I can mess around with. If you've been around on my channel for a bit, you know that I am a big fan of Rec Rally and just racing in Rec Room in general, so it should come to no surprise that I actually like this room a lot. It's a pretty simple track, but, I think it's pretty well done. Some of the ramps are a bit finicky, and the cone section later on is a bit eh. Otherwise, I think this is pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie. Room 45 actually caught me off guard. I was actually pretty tense during it. It is a horror room, so I'll let you guys see for yourself what happened.
Log 13, June 1st, 1986. I went down a hall and found a copy of the classroom. But there's blood and guts everywhere. I'm hearing voices in my head. Someone's walking down the hall. He'll update later.
Guess what, baby? It's another template room. Woo! Room 47's got this angel-looking thing, I want to say. Somewhat concerning picture. And then after that, I just sat down to chat with Mr. Freddy Fazbear about my worries. Room 48 was a very obviously FNAF-themed room. Had a version of Shadow Freddy and Shadow Foxy. And then there was also this wall, which if you grabbed, you could press a button outside of the map, which would turn it night. I don't know, man. Oh, and it was also blaring the FNAF 2 song by the Living Tombstone. It's another template room. At least it's the last one for this video. Room 50 was just this weird little room. It had a couple stuff, golden maker pen, and some dude in front of a board with, I think, French. There's also this doorway that if you went through, took you to this kind of lobby area. But the only door that worked there led you back to the room I was already in. So, not too much going on here. Announcements time. Alright, so I won't be able to upload for quite a bit, guys. I apologize for that. If you don't see any uploads, that is why. But I spent a lot of time making this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in a while, you know. If you're looking for more Flip Noob content, check out the other stuff on my channel. And yeah, see you in a bit.